and welcome to the 7th episode of Behind the Fleet podcast with none other than T-Quest. T-Quest, before I hop into this, tell these people who you are. Where are you at? How do they connect with you?
Oh, wow. Well, I am T-Quest. I am a voiceover specialist. I'm a recording artist, a journalist, a graphic designer, a promoter, a comedian. Like, I do a lot of things in the entertainment world, and where they can find me is on all social media platforms, the most important ones at T-Quest GLM.
Ooh, welcome. So many different things to unpack, but let's talk about how did you end up in this industry where you're doing voiceovers and you've got podcasts and you're a part of Fleet. Like, talk to us a little bit about your journey into the
Okay.
industry.
All right. Well, I started first as a writer and a music artist. So,
Okay.
like a lot of people in our culture, we grow up ministering in the church. So I definitely was on the choir. In school, I was in every talent show, whether rapping, singing, dancing, drill team, hip hop team. I just knew that I always wanted to be an entertainer, even though I was the shy nerd growing up. But when it came to entertainment, that was my safe haven. That was my comfort zone. So from there, I always knew I wanted to be an entertainer as well as a boss. I wanted to learn everything in the entertainment industry so I can understand everyone who works with me. Because in the beginning, I didn't know anyone in the entertainment industry and I lost a lot, a lot
Mm,
of money, a lot of time, a lot of trust, a lot of friends. So I took the time to learn the business, learn as many aspects as I can. So it was easier to work with anyone. So if I'm working with a DJ or a graphic designer, I'm like, I know what you do, so you can't get over on me. And then it just stemmed from there, from being an artist to voiceovers, working with DJs. They love drops. So I invested thousands of dollars in doing DJ drops to the point they hear my voice and they're like, how much do you charge? And I turned that into a business. And then them loving my voice came radio. Now I've been doing radio for 10 plus years. And speed on up, 2016, I started seeing the word fleet everywhere,
okay.
and I asked some DJs that I knew. I'm like, what is this fleet thing? They're like, it's a DJ coalition. I'm like, okay. And then I saw something that said fleet artist. And me being a journalist and, a little curious, I'm like, well, what is this? And it was like certain states in the organization has fleet artists. And I'm like, well, if Connecticut, because that's where I was residing at the time, ever thinking of adding fleet artists, make sure you keep me in mind. And I was so honored. They was like, well, to be honest, you're the only person we had in mind for a fleet artist because we love what you do as an entertainer. So time came, they called me up. It was like, are you ready? I'm like, I stay ready.
TTG.
And we did the interview. I went to some of the events they had in Connecticut. We did an interview. And next thing you know, I joined as a fleet artist when we actually had a fleet artist division at the time, And then I'm the type of person, I take advantage of all my opportunities. So when I saw that they had radio stations, I'm like, well, I'm a radio personality. Let's connect. I saw they had publications like Straight Official Magazine. I'm like, I'm a writer. Let's connect. They're doing events. I'm a host. Let's connect. You're a DJ. You need drops. I'm a voiceover artist. Let's connect. And that's where the different titles and fleets started accumulating because I took advantage of being a part of the organization.
Ooh, girl, you said a lot already in a short amount of time because, man, people come into Fleet and they think that you're only here to serve Fleet when in reality, if you come in with a business mind, it's a plethora of opportunities here for you to be able to make money, expose your brand, grow your business. Like, it's limitless of what you can come in here and do.
Exactly.
Are you still in Connecticut or are you somewhere different now?
Well, sad for them and a little bit sad for me, but unfortunately, I now reside in Florida. So technically,
Okay.
I am now a Florida Fleet DJ.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's talk a little bit about that transition, though. In that process of you moving from Connecticut to Florida, like unpack how Fleet was helpful in that process.
Well,
Where was it? That's a
well,
good
there
question.
was. Well, I was saddened to leave. I've already built a relationship with the Connecticut fleet, and other fleets, but that's home because I've been there for 30 plus years. And then I actually was doing a little hopping around to see where, my next place is going to be. So I went down south, and at that time they didn't have South Carolina fleet, so I was just still a member, And then I hopped over and handled some business in the Midwest. I was part of Midwest fleet, but that didn't sit well, and then I fell in love. And it so happens to be another member of fleet, and then he resides in Florida. So I'm like, you know what? I guess it's time for me to go down south and become a part of Florida Fleet. But the thing is with it, and shout out to DJ El Nino, but when it comes to Fleet, one thing I did like about it is no matter where I went on my journey in those years of transitioning, there was always fleets everywhere.
You can't get away from Fleet.
They're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I got the honor of at least seeing some of them, no matter where I was, city, state, whether I moved there or doing events there. And that's one thing I do love, because we all love to have support and to have people that can come out to see what you're doing, or they got something going on. So it's nice to know that a text or call away, most likely there's someone of Fleet in the area.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
So what position do you hold in Fleet right now? Or how many positions do you hold in Fleet right now?
Gosh. Well, it's more like, how many have you had? Because it came to the point, because I've been in Fleet 8+ years now.
Okay.
So I've had a lot of titles.
Okay.
Like all the way up to the top. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to let someone else take a title, because to be honest, I don't need a title to be a team member. I don't need a title to be a team player. I'm not with all that. I don't need a flyer. I don't need a title. I don't need responsibilities. I'm here if you need me. I'm here to support. I'm here to help. I don't need a title for that. But currently, my title is R&B assistant manager.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always like to paint the picture of what this experience has been like. So, as somebody that's been in the organization for 8+ years, talk about some of the difficulties that you've experienced being a part of Fleet too, because I think it's important that people understand the good and the bad, so they know that it's everywhere in every organization that you're a part of. It's all about how you decide that you want to create your journey.
Mm-hmm. Well, like you said, a lot of people do state the good, and I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just people have to realize it's a beautiful thing to be a part of an organization. If you are expanding yourself in the music industry and your brand, it's smart to be a part of an organization like the Fleet DJs. But where people struggle is a lot of them are so honored to be a part of it that they lose themselves trying to gain respect or gain recognition, that they lose themselves, they lose their brand, and then it's sad when that happens, but you have to remember the purpose why you joined. If you're here to expand your brand, make sure your brand does not get lost in the shuffle. And I noticed that does happen. And a lot of people fall off because of it. It's to the point when people see you, they see Fleet, and they totally forgot you had your own brand. It's a great thing to support everyone in the organization, but don't forget to support yourself. And that's a major downfall. And at the same time, like I stated earlier about titles and stuff, it's great to respect chain of command. That at the end of the day, we're all still adults. We are still quote unquote professionals. And they're not above you. Respect is respect. And that's another thing. It's an organization that we all are connected through music. It's not a cult. It's not a corporation. You do not get a W-2. You do not get a 1099. So don't let it all go to your head. Remember to still have fun, because this is supposed to be a safe haven for what you do and what you love in the music industry.
Oh, you are dropping so many gems today. And that's whether that's inside of Fleet, outside of Fleet, this organization, that organization, no matter where it is that you land or you go in this industry, you have to stay firm to yourself first and allow all these other things to be a part of what you're doing and not the only thing that you're pursuing. I think that is a great segue into you discussing, like, talk to us about T-Quest. This is the T-Quest show. There's apps. There's so many different things that you're out here doing, and these people have got to know about all of them. So give us the long, short story of it.
Well, you can tell that T-Quest is my favorite subject, right? And the reason why, it's not a vain thing, it's not a conceited thing. It's like I stated earlier, when you've grown up a quiet child, the nerd, the outsider, always to yourself, not really speaking unless someone speaks to you. The moment you break out of your shell is like a new beginning, even when it comes to this music industry. Starting in a dark place because I didn't have any guidance, to break out, to learn it, to where I could find the light. I'm just so proud of myself. So I'm always smiling, since I've been through what I've been through. Now I'm excited to help others not go through it. So throughout my journey, I've expanded so much, like I said, from being a recording artist to hear my songs on the radio, being a voiceover artist, not just doing drops, but DJ tags and radio commercials, and soon audiobooks and stuff. Like, I'm super excited about all of that, to expand to not being a radio personality, but now being not just a radio station owner, but to own a radio network, with my partner in greatness, DJ El Nino, to expand having a graphic design business, GLM Designs, to a clothing brand, the GLM collection, and everything that we're doing. It's all up for awards. So you guys make sure you go to SEA and look for those awards that we have. Best Skill Blend DJ of the Year, DJ El Nino. Best Fashion Designers of the Year, Radio Stations of the Year, Graphic Designers of the Year, Slept On Personality of the Year, Slept On Business of the Year. It's just so much under our umbrella that it's like my babies.
Yes.
And I've worked so hard that I'm happy to be our number one cheerleader, because people is always waiting for other people to root them on, to cheer for themselves. Cheer for yourself. Be happy for you. Be your supporter. Be your support system. Be your cheerleader. And that's one thing a lot of people have to get to that stage when it comes to this world of entrepreneurship. But I'm here, and the umbrella has a lot of tassels, and we are nowhere near done.
Woo. When I say it sounds like a sweep, if you don't get multiple awards out of that, I'm gonna have to call Genario and Jesse myself and say, hey, you guys slipped up on a powerhouse. How do we make sure that does not happen again? So congratulations and kudos to you for all of the hard work that put you guys in a position like that.
Thank you.
So unpack the GLM part of that. What is that? Give us more.
GLM stands for Gotta Love Me. Ooh. And before others can love you, you're supposed to love yourself, and I use that not just as a brand name, but as affirmations every day. I make sure everything I do, it's lovable, it's positive, it's happy, it's, something that people like, what, I thank you so much for helping me. I'm like, gotta love me, like we do. But T-Quest GLM is our baby, our brand. Like I said, it's our umbrella with the different tassels, like the radio stations and the graphic design business, the clothing brand, the DJing, the writing, the publication. It's just a haven for all of our businesses. And I'm super proud of it. I started it by myself. about 14 years ago.
Okay.
And now I do it with my partner in greatness, DJ El Nino. Taking my talents as his talents and blending them together. And of course, we have affiliates to fill in here and there. And it's just a lot that we're doing. And it's a lot that we're going to be continuing doing. And I always tell people, the reason why I started the brand, like I stated, is because coming in, I didn't know anything about the business. I just had the money, the drive, the talent, but I didn't know the business. And it did not work in my favor not knowing the business. So I took the time out to figure it out, to learn it, every aspect. And now we have a go to business for people either starting out, stuck, need some help, motivation, marketing. And I'm just like, look, we're only a text, phone call, email away. If you need help, we're here to help you. Realistically, if we can take you to the next level or the next level after that, all you gotta do is contact us.
Ooh, so perfect time to put this drop in here. If you are that person that's like, I need a T-Quest or I need the whole GLM team behind me to get me where it is that I'm going, like, how do people connect with you all to book services?
Well, like I always say, you can contact me on all social media platforms at T-Quest GLM and download your T-Quest mobile app in your Google Play Store and App Store. Or you can go to the website, gottalovemeworld.com, where you can find Gotta Love Me Radio and WQRV R&B Radio, GLM Designs, GLM Collection, and everything that we do on gottalovemeworld.com. But make it easier, everything's under GLM.com as well.
And now you see why you also need to book her for your voiceovers, your advertisements, for your drops, like all things communication. You need a T-Quest on your team for sure. For sure. So I know we've jumped into a lot of different buckets about your story, and there is so much more that we can unpack. But I think it's important for us to touch on with all the things that you're out here in the community and with inside of this industry doing. How does that make you feel as an individual, knowing that you are someone that's putting all this positivity out into the universe instead of being somebody that's waiting for the positivity to come your way?
It's a beautiful thing. Kid, it all starts back to my humble beginnings. Starting out in studios where I didn't know any producers. So my first studio, like the mic was in the producer's daughter's closet. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where I started, but he had the proper equipment. It just that's where the mic was, or starting performing in a crowd where all you see is the DJ, the host, the bartender, and the security guard. The promoter hyped it up, but he doesn't have any fans, So the only people that was there was people that came with me. I really had a humble beginning. So I'm like, I understand, I've been through it all. And a lot of people are going to read more about my story in up and coming books that I'm writing.
Okay.
Because I could talk about it, but the books is going to explain in details certain things that has really happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about going into details because people see me laughing and smiling. It's because the journey has been interesting and I've shed a lot of tears and I've screamed a lot, not in anger, just in hurt and in pain. But to be here and to help others when for years all I wanted was people to help me, it's a beautiful thing. Because they're like, why are you so nice to everyone? Why are you always helping? I said, I treat people the way I desire to be treated, even if they do not treat me that way.
Girl, that just gave me chills. Like, that is a lesson inside of itself. Whether you are a woman or a man in this industry, new or old, you get out of it what you put into it. And it's a vicious industry if you allow it to be. But I think that the more that we have people like yourself that come in that are trying to change that narrative where people aren't automatically thinking you have to be guarded or in a sense like quicker to get over on somebody than they can get over on you, like, it's refreshing because that's where a lot of people get lost in. Excuse me. That's where a lot of people get lost at is they come in excited and then they meet the wrong people back to back to back to back, and it deters them from their journey in a sense. So
That's one thing I always think about when I think about my beginning. And you see family like, how's everything? Oh, everything's great, even though it really wasn't. I just lost a couple of $1,000. It's nothing. Or this trip, how was your trip? It was great. No, it wasn't. It was very traumatic. How was this meeting? I'm like, it was great, even though someone trying to attack me. Like, it's just so much that goes on behind the scenes. But I tell people, no matter what I went through, one thing they never did was broke my spirit or made me change my character. And a lot of people go through traumatic experiences and you don't even recognize them no more. And it's for the worse. And I'm like, that's one thing you can't do is break my spirit or my character. And what really pushes me, I tell people, is my future self, because she deserves to live her best life. In order for her to do that, I have to make sure I'm doing what I have to do in the present.
I love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. So before we get out of here, let's just talk a little bit about what you have going on in the Florida division of Fleet. Like, what are you guys working on right now as a unit?
Well, Florida stayed busy because Florida is a big state. They are in their own world, because people don't realize how big Florida is. We're like literally hours away from each other, but every part of Florida is always doing something different. What I can say is the members are very active. They always booked and busy. But in the midst of being booked and busy individually, one thing I love about it is that they're always doing events together too. They have DJ Sunday Fun Days. They have a tour to meet different artists always before the annual Fleet DJ conference, to gain momentum, to get the name out there, or to even let them know about the conference. I love how they work so well together, so there's always different things going on in Florida Fleet. They stay busy and they stay turned up. They like, you coming out? No. Um, we pop on, make a guest appearance here and there, but that whole party and every single day, every single night, I gotta be a check involved for that.
Now, just in case an independent artist, a club owner, a venue, like if somebody wanted to connect with the Florida DJs, like how do they get involved? How do they reach out? Like if they've got somebody that they really need this music in you all's hands, talk to the people a little bit about how that process works.
Well, we do have, like I stated earlier about the chain of command. So we do have Florida Fleet Artists Spotlight Coordinator and events people in charge for that. So you can contact them. But I always say you can type in Florida Fleet DJs. It's going to either pop up either a hashtag that's trending or any of our social media platforms. So no matter who you talk to, they can always connect you to the right person depending on what you're looking for. But what I always say is, if you're an artist or something, I'm the real plug. So you can, you can just contact me. Okay, and I can get you right.
Hey. So, T-Quest, like your energy is so bright. Like everything that we talked about in this short interview is everything that the world needs plus some. Like I'm ecstatic about having the opportunity to just have just a quick conversation with you. But I always want to make sure that I'm leaving nuggets of advice to those that came before us, that's coming behind us, or even those that are traveling right alongside of us right now. So, what is something that you would tell someone if they came to you and they're like, I want to be in the industry, T-Quest. I just don't know what I need to do or how I need to do it, or even how do I navigate the situation? Like, what's a nugget that you would tell someone that would help them further themselves on their journey as well?
Well, a few things that I tell people is if you have a true passion for it, then that's going to make it a little easier, especially during your downtime, your down moments, and your dark moments. because it's going to be the passion that's going to build you back up and give you the confidence to do what you got to do. Also, I tell people, even though social media is showing you that the industry is more like popcorn, just trust me, if you want longevity, even though everyone's journey is different, like I tell all of our entrepreneur clients, if you can put your job on your schedule, if you can put your errands on your schedule, make sure you put you on your schedule and take time
100%.
out to research, to plan, to study, to network. If you have to draw out your vision board, figure out what you want to do. And if you don't know how to navigate, that's when you start reaching out to people. But you have to start doing the work first, because someone is not can't do everything for you. You still have to play your part. Yes, as an artist, you wish you can just get on the mic and do what you do, but nowadays you have to wear every hat, just like a parent. You know, you're not just mommy, you're not just daddy, you're not just this. You wear a lot of hats. So if you genuinely want to do this, take the time out to come up with a plan, or at least write your vision, write what your dreams out, and then contact me to get you right. They'll steer you in the right direction. But it's all within you. The COVID has shown us that everything we needed was always there. We just needed to push ourselves. We're using hashtag survival mode. And you see how many millionaires out of nowhere came about. Okay, it was always in us. We just have to push it out.
Well, before I think, and thank you. I think you're right on the money. It's in you, not on you. Never, ever, 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 ever forget that.
Exactly.
Before we head out of here, again, you all, it's just Miss Wells. You guys can follow me on Instagram at it's just Miss Wells. T-Quest, tell these people where they can find T-Quest GLM.
Ew, and she just said it. That's right. You can follow me on all social media platforms at T-Quest GLM. And do not forget to download your T-Quest mobile app in your Google Play Store and your App Store.
All right. Until next time, folks, thank you so much for tuning in to the 7th episode of Behind the Fleet podcast, where me and T-Quest, we talked about it. Until next Saturday, follow us on social media. Tap in wherever we are on all these social platforms, and make sure you give us your music. We want it, we want it, we want it. Until next time, folks, we are out of here.